توكل was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2011 in recognition of her non-violent struggle for democracy and advocacy for women's rights in Yemen. Ms. Kرمان has been imprisoned on a number of occasions for her pro-democracy, pro-human rights protests. Amongst Yemen's youth movement, she is known as the mother of the revolution, the Arab woman, the lady of the Arab Spring. Yes! She's a human rights activist, journalist, politician, founder of the Women Journalists Without Chains, Kرمان Foundation, and the Peaceful Youth Revolution Council. Time magazine described Ms. Kرمان as the torchbearer of the Arab Spring and named her both one of the most 100 influential women defining the last century and one of the most rebellious women in history. Ms. Kرمان is a member of the Facebook Oversight Board and of the Nobel's Women Initiatives. توكل, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. Is this me?
Yeah, this is so good.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be with you here. Thank you, Dominic, and thank you, President Yunus. It's very hard to tell him to name her as president or as chancellor, or to name the advisor, chief advisor. He's my friend. He's my mentor. He's my professor. I am so glad that Yunus and I share the very important prize, Nobel Peace Prize. And I remember last time that I met Professor Yunus before he became the chief advisor. It was in Vatican last year, and we were talking how together Nobel laureates and leaders around the world who were in Vatican to be with him in front of the injustice that he faced, and how to protect him from entering the prison at the time. And suddenly, everything changed in Bangladesh. The peaceful revolution went, and our colleague, our hero, Dr. محمد Yunus became, the head of this transitional period. So I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of Bangladesh people about. I'm so proud of students in. So proud of them for many things, many things. But the most important thing that they proved me right. Because I always, when I defend an Arab Spring, and when anyone told me that, well, how, from where you give your help, I told them, from young people. We shouldn't we shouldn't lose our hope. We should believe in the future. Regardless of all the chaos, all the destroyed around us, all the destruction around us, we have to believe in ourselves. And you will see that one day we will celebrate the total victory of Arab Spring, the total victory of people around the world who fight for their freedom, for their dignity, for their democracy, and for their prosperity. That is what's happening in Bangladesh. So thank you so much to every people in Bangladesh, especially the young people. This is number one. Number two, let's talk about the challenges that is now facing the humanity. We are now in the 80th anniversary of the United Nations. This international institution established for one reason: to stop wars, to stop genocide, to be with people, and raise a slogan that enough, it is enough. And it established for this reason: to be with people, to be with oppressed people, to help people on their on achieving and on practicing human rights. Now we are, after 80 years of establishing this great institution that really reflects our human being, our shared humanity. But what is the outcome? What did we achieve 80 years after establishing this important institution? There is a lot of outcomes, but still wars exist, conflict exists, nations still there, and they gather themselves more and more. Occupation is still there. Genocide is still there, and we witnessed that in Palestine. So this is, if we talk about human rights, so the human rights is in decline, it is not in progress. If we talk about poverty, it's until now, we should at least, we should, to reach to the end hunger, while there is many places around the world that suffer from hunger. And what we witness also now in Palestine is one of the evidence. There is a big gap between rich countries and poor countries. There is a big gap between rich people and poor people. And this is not the responsibility and the outcomes of the United Nations that came to help people for development, to create social justice, equality between nations and between people. And while we are suffering from poverty, and we are talking now again about how to end poverty, we have now, after 8 years, it must be our coming planning how to create real prosperity, not to end poverty. How to make people live a very dignified life, but not to end poverty. So this poverty is still there. Now the environment, also there's a very big deterioration on that field. The global warming is escalating, and there is no real method to stop the global warming. And all these things came from many reasons, but the most important thing is because the United Nations is weak. And I'm saying that here in this country. Because the United Nations is weak, it couldn't do its main mission as it should be strong institutions that make binding things, agreements for the nations, especially for equality, especially for freedom, for human rights, and especially for environment. Unfortunately, the United Nations is really weak. We need in this 80th anniversary, we should gather ourselves to raise our voice, but we need reform in this institution if we want really to save the humanity. If this institution continue its weakness, it will not be able to stop wars around the world. That is, what is happening now. And we will witness more genocide. Genocide will come and wars will continue. Poverty will continue. Climate change and destroying our earth will continue. So we hope that this institution to be reformed, and we have to gather our voices for these things, and not just the United Nations. All the important international institutions need to have reforms, to be the voice of all nations, not to ignore some nations, especially the global south. So we need these reforms, and we have to be brave enough to say it. The veto rights, the P5, veto in the Security Council should be deleted, because this right is just come to 5 countries that they didn't take human rights their priority. So I'm here to convey the voice of people, and I love this institution. I see it as the international government that all people around the world should unify under this institution. But we have to empower it enough with tools, with constitutions, with laws, with money, and with the binding mechanism to make all the members respect human rights, respect environment, respect the economic justice, and also we have to talk about technology, respect the right of people to access technology, and we don't make technology as a tool of repression and as a tool of controlling the minds of people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tabakol. Maybe you join me in feeling that your words deeply resonate with us.